A webinar participant asks, how do you improve your customer interviewing skills and how do you keep them up over time? This is a really great question. So I teach story-based interviewing. This is a particular style of interviewing where we ask our customers to tell me about a specific time when. So tell me about the last time you experienced a pain point the product is addressed to solve. Tell me about the last time you used the product. The goal is to keep the participant grounded in a specific story about their past behavior. I like this format because it's both reliable, it's fairly easy to teach. It's something that we can do week over week. It allows us to learn more and more about our customers, the more stories that we collect. But it does take practice. The first time you do this, you're not going to collect a very good story. We have to learn how to elicit the story from the participant. We have to learn the right level of detail. There's a skill here that's going to take some practice. So how can we get better at it? The primary thing is you do need to practice. You can practice with your coworkers where you interview each other and ask about their experience with anything. You could just pick any product. Tell me about the last time you used Miro. Tell me about your last meeting, right? It really could be anything. So you can practice with your peers. The challenge when we're practicing with peers is somebody has to give you feedback. And so they need to know what to listen for. They need to know the right level of specificity. So if your peers aren't experts on interviewing, it can be hard to get good feedback. This is why in our continuous interviewing course, we do lots and lots and lots of rounds of feedback, lots of rounds of practicing with feedback. We teach people how to give feedback. So we're trying to do two things. We're trying to teach good interviewing skills, and we're trying to set you up for ongoing practice even beyond the course. But if everybody on your team has read Continuous Discovery Habits or read our blog post about interviewing, you certainly can just get started by practicing on your own. Another thing that you can do is you can record your interviews, and then you can watch your interviews after the fact and listen for where did you miss detail? Where did the participant maybe skip a step and you didn't catch it? Where did you ask a leading question? So you can kind of critique yourself by watching your own videos. That's another way to get practice. And I actually still do this, even though I have been conducting interviews for 2 decades now, maybe 3 decades. I don't really want to think about that. I feel like I'm a very proficient interviewer and especially a very proficient story collector. I still regularly rewatch my interviews and make a note of the mistakes that I'm making just as a way to build in that feedback loop. I rewatch my interviews anyway because I'm doing that to synthesize what I learned. And so as I do that, I'm keeping an ear out for where could I have been better as the interviewer. So there's lots of ways to practice. If you want to learn more about our continuous interviewing course, I'll put a link below. And if you found good ways to keep your interviewing skills current and up to date, share your best tip in the comments below.